Mistake-filled, but some of that is to be expected. It's early in the year, so there are some mistakes that we're making, particularly on the offensive end of the floor, as it relates to ball security that we have to clean up in order to make progress. But I think the guys have accounted for themselves very well. We've had three, worthy opponents for sure. Talented team in our first game at home in Louisiana Christian NAI school, but a lot of talent on the floor. So it took a while to get going. We played, I think, everybody, including the band members that were at the game. So that was hard to find a groove. And to the kids' credit, they did do that, and we did a workmanlike job and got through that process. Then the two road wins. I don't think you can underestimate how difficult it is to win road games, real road games. We play in two Division II schools on the road, two solid teams in their venues. So no matter whether we started bad or started good, I think we led both games at halftime. So I don't think we started that poorly. Frankly, I just think it's a process. To win, on the road. At this level is a very difficult thing to do. We did make a lot of mistakes, again, in both games. Less, I think, in the third game than in the second. The second game, I think we were just in the Christmas spirit and did everything but wrap the basketball up and put a ribbon on it and give it to somebody as a gift. But then the third game, we cut our turnovers down. All three games, our offensive efficiency numbers are pretty good. Got 35 points from a player, Rashawn Williams, in the first game. Then the second game, I thought several guys came through. In the third game, again, it was a lot of different guys. Rashawn didn't play very much, and we were able to do some really good things. So I think overall, if we can get to where we're cutting down on our mistakes with the basketball, particularly clean up some of the things that are a little messy right now on both ends of the floor. I mean, you do that and you're 3-0 with two road wins. I think that's pretty significant.
Coach, was there anything in particular that surprised you about your team in the first three games? Something maybe you didn't expect to see during preseason preparations that you saw in the first three games of the season?
Not really. I don't want to say I was surprised. Probably a little. Again, not a little. A lot. Concerned about the lack of ball security. I didn't know we were going to have to do a hard hat promotion and put people in construction hats to be safe on the first two rows of the arena. But other than that, it's pretty much gone to form. We have a lot of different guys that can play. We're trying to find ourselves, particularly at the point guard position right now. So we've got a musical chairs, if you will, of going on there until someone establishes that they're going to be the alpha of the team and run the squad consistently. But I can't say that I'm overly surprised one way or the other.
Coach, a nice Thanksgiving break off for your team. Games speaking, I'm sure there was many practices and many preparational things happening because Lone Star Conference play starts this week, Wednesday and Friday night in the HPC. That's a very quick start to the conference schedule this year. I mean, you only have 3 games under your belt, but it seemed like your team improved in many aspects throughout those 3 games. What were some of the things you did over the Thanksgiving break, practice-wise, to make sure your team continues that improvement going into the first 2 Lone Star Conference games?
Well, we took some time off. I have a team that's really, I tease them, we tease each other. They're indicative of a lot of the people now. Load management is what they call it. So they like to have their time off and get their nails done and foot massages and things like that. So we accommodated that. We ate way too much food, and we just addressed the truth. We, deep dived into the first 3 games and just did an analysis of what we did well, what we need to clean up. Watched, and talked about mistakes and trying to minimize our mistakes a little better than we have. So a lot of mental preparation. We've had some injuries that we're dealing with that's cut down our numbers, so it doesn't allow you to practice maybe at the level that you'd like to practice with. We carry 17 on our team, and I think if we have 12 going to practice on any given day, that's pretty good. I tease Ed, our trainer, that he has as many players with him as I have with me on the floor. So trying to get healthy, and trying to get better. And, you know, again, for us, it's pretty clear. Cut down our turnovers, do a better job in that area, and I think it gives us a chance to be a lot better.
Coach, it seems like these games before the turn of the calendar year in the Lone Star Conference always seem to be vital. At the end of the season, teams are still trying to figure out their rotations, still trying to figure out things as, you know, we move into the Christmas break. What are some of the keys to these games early in Lone Star Conference play when you don't have much film on your opponents, you have some film on yourself, but everyone's still just trying to figure things out? What are some of the keys in these games, like you have coming up on Wednesday against Cameron and Friday against Midwestern State?
Well, league ball is different. It is a different dynamic, and again, only 8 teams are going to be in that conference tournament, so every game always is tough anyway, but that now makes it, you know, even early. It doesn't matter how early it is. You just try to figure out a way. In March, they say survive in advance, and I think in our league, that's the mentality you have to have from the word go. You have to have the mentality of, we're not painting pictures. We don't care how pretty it looks. We'll judge all that later. What you really have to do is fight to try to get a win, particularly on your home court. This is not a forgiving league, and if you don't win your home games, it is going to make it exponentially more difficult. And this league is not only good, it has improved dramatically, and the opponents we have coming in right off the bat show us that. There's just been dramatic improvement from the teams that did not have great years a year ago, and then the rich keep getting richer at the very top of the league. So it's just a daunting task, and what we're going to do is not try to paint any pictures. You just make it a bloodbath. It's a league. It's league ball. It's all out. It's right now. It's win, move on, try to get the next one. And if you don't have that mentality, you could get buried in a league like this very, very early.
Coach, best of luck this week. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.